Check, check, check. One, two, three. Just making sure I'm good. Making sure I'm good. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about the Celtics. Pretty sad day for me. I'm not gonna lie. This was a lot. Um, I don't think the trade was good. I don't think the trade was good, but we'll get to it. All right. Welcome back. It's Archival.Sessions. But usually we focus on movies, and other stuff. But today we are talking about, the Boston Celtics trading Jaylen Brown. I've been a Boston Celtic fan since since Rondo got drafted, like 2007. 2006. I've been a fan for a while. Growing up, Knicks weren't really good. I always liked Paul Pierce. And when it was time for me to be like, oh, okay, if it was a team I'm really going to go for, it was the Boston Celtics. I really liked them and enjoyed them. Then my brother ended up going to college in Boston, so I got to, see the city a lot, spend more time there. I really do enjoy the city. And then as an adult, got to work in Boston in, the hospital network there. And now to, you know, see Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rondo, all those guys left. But from the ashes of that trade came Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams. Just a lot of guys have come through here. And I have to say how much I've enjoyed this ride we had with Jaylen Brown. Um, like I think he said it like in the last 10 years, he's been the most winning player. Like these guys been constantly knocking at the door and ended up getting a ring, but constantly knocking at the door, constantly improving their play, constantly being what you want out of a draft pick, which is, are you gonna, go to war? Are you gonna really go for it? And he always did, always went for it. And that was really exciting, really great to have him as a player. And then for Jason Tatum to be along his side the whole time too was just also like we've been we've been blessed. I mean, low-key been greedy at the same time. Cause then, before Tatum got there, we traded Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving. Then Gordon Hayward comes, breaks his ankle, but that allows Tatum to be a starter, which then, puts him on the track to being who he is now. Um, and then Kyrie leaving. We can go through everything, but really the year I want to start with is 2022. Um, Now that we are, there's only one player left from that starting five, which I think was a phenomenal team, and I think that was like the the real start of this championship window for the Boston Celtics was 2022 when they first went to the finals. And that playoff run was amazing. It was a mix of heartbreak, biting your nails, real excitement, seeing them get over that hump, get to the finals. And of course, ultimately they lose to Stephen Curry, a top 75 player, but they fought really hard just to get there, and that felt really good. And I was telling my fiance early why now having Jalen gone, how much that hurts and how much the losses now hurt. Um, every loss that the Celtics had in the last couple of years, they're really bad. Like they really hurt, man. Like 2022 to see this team in the finals just after game three, like they never looked good again. Like Curry went off. They're playing drop coverage and all that. Robert Williams was not 100%. Um, Everyone was just kind of overextended. They were not ready for that moment. And they lost. They ultimately lost. Like the better team won. It was sad to see. But then the next year, not only is Ime gone and out as the coach, we have a new coach in Joe Mazzulla. but still they get to the second seed. They are the second seed, and you know the Bucks were the first seed, and they lose to the Heat, and that was a clear door to the final. Another clear door to the finals, and once again the Celtics faltered like that. It was really heartbreaking, especially second round. Yes, we were down 3-2 to the 76ers, but Tatum comes out game 7, drops 51 points, and we get to the Heat. We're down 0-3. And I was at game 2 of that conference finals, and I saw Caleb Martin outplay Jaylen Brown. That was probably one of the ugliest things I ever saw. It was like Caleb Martin is outplaying Jaylen Brown. That was bad. And then game 7, of course, Celtics do try to come back, force a game 7, even though they were down 0-3. They still have this adversity of Tatum, hurts his ankle. Tatum hurts his ankle, and it was on Brown. Brown was the only one out there, and he had like truly a terrible game. I think he had like 8 turnovers. Really ugly game. And I remember after leaving that series, it was like, where do we go? Like 2022, hard loss to end. 2023, you lose to a team you're better than. Like that was really ugly. And we didn't know where the team was going. And that's when Brad makes a great decision. Everyone for all the kind of like, yeah, let's pay the money and let's go get a team to get Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and they trade Marcus Smart. Even though he had to go, it hurt. It did really hurt. He got traded, and they also traded Rob Williams. So now it's like, okay, 2 people from that championship run team. I mean, the finals run team is gone. Marcus Smart, Rob Williams. So now it's just, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford. And 2024, they run through the league. That team was really good. And they handled business the whole play, even though guys were hurt and all that stuff. And I already knew like this won't feel as good as what would have felt good if we would have won in 2022. How good that would have felt. But that didn't happen. And we won in 24. It was good, great team, but once again, you move to the next year and the losses just hurt. And 24 is a bad law. Even before Tatum goes down, we are down 0-2 to an inferior team that we were up 20 in the second half twice. And the Knicks came back. That was really bad. Like, that was ugly, truly ugly basketball. We were down 0-2. And then we get to the Garden. Yes, they win game 3. It's a close game 4. Tatum's going off. Brunson's going off. It's a great game. And the worst possible thing happened. Tatum tears his Achilles. So now just once again back in this like, damn, like especially after the championship, it kind of felt the same as like in 23. Like we let another year just go by of it's choking. Honestly, they were choking. Like they were down 0-2, unacceptable. Yes, Tatum gets hurt, but still, it was like it didn't look good. That series did not look good, and it didn't look good that they can get to the finals. Even though having a great year in 24, it just looked really ugly the next year. And then what happens? We trade everyone. And this is when Al Horford leaves. So now there's 3 guys from that 2022 team. It's Brown, Tatum, White. And I know I'm not counting Pritchard, but it's more like the main guy. Pritchard's off the bench, whatever. I'm not hating on Pritchard right now. And then we get to this year, which this was a tough year because going in, I was like, they're gonna be trash. They started 0-3, and I was like, great. AJ DeBonce's in this. There's some really good draft picks. You try to just get a pick. Tatum's out. What's the point? And after that 0-3 start, after that, they went on a tear. And it was led by Jaylen Brown. And that's where we're starting to understand who he is as a player and why Even when, like in 2023, he had a terrible game seven in that conference finals, like ugly game seven, but how he responds, he always will respond. He's gonna respond. He doesn't let things just be like, oh, I lost, too bad, keep moving. No, he respond. And Jaylen Brown been responding his whole career. They booed him, he respond. They said you're a bench player, he respond. He becomes a starter. They said you're not an all-star, he becomes an all-star. They say, oh, Jaylen Brown's a better player. They don't let that rattle them, and they still found a way to get to success. And that's what made this year really tough because the team had success, and then Tatum comes back. He still looked really good. And then the playoffs come. And if you would have told me how I felt when we went up 3-1, I remember the Knicks were, I think it was 2-2 with the Knicks. Currently, we end up becoming the champions. And I was just like, oh, I'm ready to play the Knicks. Like, let's end Philly, beat them in game five. We're ready for the Knicks. Let's go. Let's get this rematch. Like, I wanted that rematch. I wanted the rematch against the Knicks. And some of the worst basketball starts to be played. And I know Tatum's coming back from Achilles. He played bad too. Brown played bad. Like everyone was playing bad. It was ugly. Derek White couldn't hit a shot. It was like really ugly basketball, and it it it, it just kept it, it it just kept getting worse. It kept getting worse, and the the team just couldn't show up against a worse team. Like the Sixers were worse. Vucevic was terrible. Like it was just a lot of ugly basketball, and Missoula kind of like didn't have any answer. It wasn't trying different things until game seven. Then he's like, "Oh, let's try stuff," and it was too late, and we lost. And Tatum was hurt, and it was just really ugly. And we were just back in that place of like being embarrassed. And I think because even though the Jays have been really successful in their regular seasons, getting to Eastern Conference Finals, but what I'm saying is from 22 to 26, there have been more ugly losses than really good, astounding wins. 24, thank God we won. Because if they never won, they would be labeled as choked artists. Like they have done some really bad damage. And that's all I feel of like we didn't give Brown and Tatum um the fair shot of these totally championship teams. Like that's all I can think about the losses. They were really bad. And I think trading Jaylen Brown, remember they had to answer these two questions. But in all the losses, it was like you lost to worse teams and you couldn't win home games. So trading Jaylen Brown, are you answering those questions? Can you win home games in the playoffs and we stop dropping to lower seed teams? Can you do that? And trading Jaylen Brown, I don't know if that answered that. I think it was like with 24, what the answer was putting more around them, putting more talent around them. And now the Celtics are saying, the grass is greener on the other side. Without Brown, we can do more without Jaylen Brown. And I honestly do not agree with that. Um, I bet if you ask Devin Booker, hey, if you played with like a Jaylen Brown, would you like? They like, yes, I would love that. Ask Anthony Edwards. Ask any wing if they had someone else with them that can go to war with them. That's what Tatum had. And now to know the Celtics have chose a side and chose a future where they think Tatum can do it. He can do it, and we're just gonna surround him this heliocentric thing. He can be like the Luca James Harden type guy. Whatever you think he can do that. Um, I am doubting him a little. There is a little bit of doubt. I'm gonna be real. And if he's doing this just to get MVP, that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like this is not even about winning championships. We want to win championships, and folks is worried about MVP. And maybe we can ding Brown on that a little because this year he definitely should have been top five in MVP, and he wasn't. because the Cade and Luca thing. Even though I don't think Luca should have been MVP. He should have after he showed his ass in the finals. He should never be in that conversation. Scott doesn't take basketball seriously, and there's a reason why LeBron left. But also the big thing with Brown, were you gunning for an MVP? It is an honest question. And in gunning for one, you further solidify for the Celtics front office, like maybe we should break them up. But this is where getting Giannis was the deal. Why the hell would you trade for Paul George? Paul George is like what, 37, 36 now? He's cooked. Like he's honestly really cooked. Even though he played pretty good in the playoffs, had a pretty good regular season, I don't think like that you're putting a lot of pressure on Tatum, man. We are putting a lot of pressure. And Tatum having a baked in all-star with him his whole career, that was a blessing for him. And now you're saying, yeah, fuck all that. It's just him. How do you win like that? How do you win like that? Like we're seeing how teams win. You look at the Knicks, they have two all-stars. You look at OKC, two all-stars. Even though Jamal Murray hasn't really been an all-star, he's an all-star caliber player with him and Jokic. But now you got rid of his all-star talent and you're gonna do it by committee. And I think Joe Mazzulla is good at doing that with like fringe guys. But when the playoffs come, he gets really frigid and like just he's holding everyone and just like no, we're not playing that. And if you're gonna go all in, like you gotta play Ugo, you gotta play Bale Shireman, you gotta play Jordan Walsh. You cannot just not play guys. That shit's not cool. And also you gotta know when to sit down fucking Sam Hauser and when Derek White's playing like shit. Like, what are you gonna do? I think this is like I want to do a comparison of pre Jaylen Brown, with Jaylen Brown on the Celtics, and then without him. And if those don't have the same numbers, you made a bad deal. And Brad Stevens, this will define your career. I know you won a championship, but this trade will define your time in Boston because if the team never gets to where we got to with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, we're blaming you and we're on your ass. And your job will be on the line and people will run you out of that city. So I think we're putting too much pressure on Tatum because honestly, he be streaky sometimes. Honestly, he is sometimes really streaky, and that's why you have baked in. You have someone there with him, which was another elite scoring defensive wing. Like, come on, that is dumb. And you get a guy that's over the hill. Paul George is over the hill, and we're asking him to help us become contenders. And I have a question for the Celtics. Do you honestly think this is a contending team? I know we got Mitchell Robinson, Michael Conley, but there has to be more moves because this is bad. Like this is ugly. And it's disrespectful to Jaylen Brown and what he gave to this organization altogether, what he gave to fans, what he gave to the city, and what he did for himself of like coming in to where he becomes a Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, five-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA. This guy has been reaching for the stars and has been constantly really good. And I just think you have to surround them with more talent, not let's double down with Tatum and become this like Luca fringe team. That shit don't work. Like you're not gonna be OKC with this bullshit squad. You're not gonna like respect to the Knicks. I still don't think you can beat them. Like Brunson's a killer. Cat is a problem, and you got rid of your scoring depth to go with old ass pouring Paul George, and now Tatum's just like high usage. And if we're doing all this just for him to become an MVP, then we're not serious about winning championships. And y'all know this town is about winning championships. I do not care about who wins MVP. I will never care about who wins MVP. I care about what the hell are you doing in the playoffs, and what are you doing when you get to the finals? What are you gonna do? Because none of that shit matters the regular season. This team has been a second team, second seed, or first seed since 2022. So we know y'all are a good regular season team, but that shit doesn't matter. Like I said, the losses matter more because now we're seeing during this championship window, you went to the finals twice, only won one, but the losses were ugly. Up 3-1, lose three straight. Go down 0-3, get smacked by an 8 seed. Lose to the Knicks up 0, I mean down 0-2, blow two 20-point leads in the second half. There's some really pathetic losses. And if they think the answer is trading your all-star player for an old ass Paul George, I don't know what they're thinking, and I don't agree with that at all. This is I'm getting kind of mad. This is really ridiculous. And the media, man, they wanted these two to break up for years, and they got it now. Like I don't know what's wrong with having like okay, I really love film, right? If you're a director, you don't want to be like, nah, I'm the only head talent on here. You want to find the best cinematographer for the movie. You want to find the best production designer for the movie. You want to find the best person to do your score. You want to find the best actors. Like you are looking for the best. And if you're gonna have a guy like Tatum, you want someone good to complement him. Do they run plays together, Brown and Tatum? No, but the reason why it worked because the way they played and how they surrounded them, especially the 2024 team, was like that's how you do it. You get defensive guys, you get a shooting big man, you get a versatile big man that can really guard the paint. And it's sad that we are now going away from that. And if this was a money decision, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm deeply upset. Um, I can't even talk about movies right now. We're just talking about the Celtics. I can't. But this is I don't know. I'm just like lost. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't really I don't like it. It's just it's not good. It's not good. And the Celtics, they kind of punks, man. Like they kind of punks. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. It's disheartening. It doesn't feel good. And to have a guy that he was about getting better, and this is where I know that Bobby Marks comment was nasty when he was just like he would be the seventh best player on the team. But here's the thing about the Celtics: they are very analytics heavy organization, and Jalen Brown's advanced stats are not where they should be as a top 15 player. That's a reality that the Celtics know. And Brown just, made up for it in other ways with his tenacity, how he played, it's hard shot making. He does some really hard shot making. But Celtics just they gave up. You gave up on a guy you drafted who was here day one. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. My fiance is watching Avatar Fire and Ash, and it's the great mother scene, and I hate that scene. I think it's really bad. It's really ugly, and it's like Sigourney Weaver. I do not care. Oh, great mother! She's like that is a terrible scene. Take that all out the movie. But whatever. Anyways, um, yeah, this is a terrible move, and I hate everyone involved. And Brad, like I said, now like I'm looking at everything and it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? How is this gonna look? And Tatum, the ball is in your hand now. There's no one else. I don't want to hear shit. There's no excuse. And honestly, I want to see what he says. Like, what do you have to say? They traded the guy that was been your partner since day one. What the you gotta say, man? What does he have to say? Because I'm not jacking nothing, man. But and if Tatum doesn't say anything, then it does kind of confirm like, wait, y'all really didn't fuck with each other, and the media just like the media can't be that negative. Like y'all really that negative towards each other. I don't know. I don't like that. Um, but yeah, it's answers time. Celtics are choosing a side. So all right, let's go. What y'all got? What y'all got? Because exactly, we could have just kept him. We could have just kept him. You're completely right, and I completely agree. I don't know what's going on. It's just I just keep shaking my head. I don't know what's going on. Like I'm telling you, the grad and they okay. This is I love movies with that show like cheating couples because it's always one partner that's like maybe the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. And for them to just think, let's throw away Brown, bet, throw away Brown, whatever. The grass ain't greener. And we're going to see. So the ball's in your hand, Tatum, now. Do your thing, whatever. Anyways, y'all, um, thanks tuning in. Just had to get my thoughts off, and